Buonasera a tutti cari amici e benvenuti a questo nostro secondo appuntamento con la nostra rubrica IBB Friends, all'interno della quale avremo il piacere di conversare, non di intervistare, ma di conversare alcuni tra i maggiori protagonisti del mondo brass bandistico internazionale. Ricordo a tutti gli amici qui collegati che si ha la possibilità di poter lasciare commenti e soprattutto domande che il sottoscritto sottoporrà al nostro ospite alla fine dell'intervista. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to IBB Friends with our second appointment, a cycle of interviews to one of the best known characters of the brass band world. Please leave your comments and first of all leave your questions and at the end of the interview I will ask your question to our guest. Ma non mi dilungo oltre, signori e signori, sono felice di presentarvi, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud to introduce you, Mr. Arfon Owen. Good morning,
Hello,
Mr.
everyone.
Owen.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dice che è un grande piacere essere qui con noi. Mr. Owen, let's start with the question. Allora, signor Owen, potrebbe narrarci un po' dei suoi esordi? Quando ha deciso di suonare il flicorno contralto, il perché ha deciso di fare del flicorno contralto lo strumento della sua vita professionale, dato che suona, come si vede dai suoi video su Facebook, vari altri strumenti, tra cui anche il flicorno soprano. E quali sono stati gli insegnanti o i solisti di questo strumento che hanno segnato la sua carriera come modello. Let's start about your beginnings. So, could you tell us when did you decide to play tenor horn? Why did you decide to play tenor horn? Because you play other instruments too, like for example flugelhorn. And who were the teachers or the tenor horn soloists who marked your career as a model?
It's quite a funny story, actually. I actually didn't start my musical career on tenor horn. The first instrument I started on was the piano. And I started playing the piano at the age of 4 years old. So I'd already played the piano for a number of years before my father was talking one day to a gentleman who he knew very well. And he was involved with my local brass band, the Menai Bridge Town Band. And the gentleman asked my father if I would be interested in coming to the band to try and play a brass instrument. So one day I was driven over to the Menai Bridge Band, and the only instrument they had in the store cupboard was a tenor horn. That was the only one that they had left. So that's how I started on the tenor horn, and I just fell in love with it. So yeah, that's how it started.
Ok. Allora, Mr. Owen ha approcciato la musica molto giovane. Il suo primo strumento è stato il pianoforte. Mentre per quanto riguarda il flicorno contralto, ha iniziato perché suo padre lo portò a vedere un concerto di brass band e vedendolo molto interessato, le persone lì presenti, diciamo i musicisti lì presenti, consigliarono al padre di fargli imparare uno strumento a dottore, uno strumento da brass band. Allora lui andò alle sue prime lezioni e l'unico strumento che lì avevano nel magazzino per potergli dare, per poter imparare, era il flicorno contralto. Quindi per un caso fortuito lui ha imparato il flicorno contralto. Ok, Mr. Owen, I have the second question. This is a good question. In your opinion, is more difficult learning tenor horn or the name of your village in Wales? because Allora, è molto più difficile secondo lei imparare il flicorno contralto o il nome del suo paese? Perché voi non lo sapete, ma lui vive in un paese dal nome molto particolare, in lingua gallese, un nome che è costituito da ben 58 lettere, è il secondo nome più lungo del mondo. His village is the second longest village name in the world.
Yes, it is. There it is. I'm just checking to see if you've spelt it correctly. Give me a second. I'm just looking to see if you've spelt it right. Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
can you
Good
say
job.
it? Can you say it, please?
Okay. Sanvair push gwingish gogerich went drop with Santa Cilia go.
In my opinion, it's more difficult this than tenor horn learning.
Well, the thing is, you only need to learn that name one time. You only need to learn it once, but there's always things to learn when playing the tenor horn. So I think probably the tenor horn is a bit more difficult, but I speak well, so it's a bit easier.
Ok, lui dice giustamente, essendo gallese di origine, non ha problemi a pronunciare questo nome in lingua gallese, quindi per lui è più difficile il filicorno contralto. For me it's the opposite. Ok, per me è il contrario. Okay.
I'll teach you one day. I'll teach you it one day, Giovanni. I'll teach you how to say it. Yeah.
Thank you. Dice che mi insegnerà un giorno questo nome. Ok, thank you. But I know that you live in Norway. So why a Welshman went to Norway?
Yeah, well, I didn't come directly from Wales to Norway. I left North Wales at the age of 18 to study at the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester. And I lived in Manchester for nearly 10 years before I moved here. Oh, well, just over 10 years, actually. I lived in Manchester for about 11 years. And in 2013, in the year 2013, just after the Yorkshire area championships, I remember, I received a phone call from the then conductor of the Stavanger brass band, called Selma Simonsen. He called me and asked if I may be interested in coming to play horn with the Stavanger brass band. And being in my late 20s and thinking that if I'm going to do something like this, I think now's the time to do it. So I just, after quite a lot of time thinking about it, I just decided that I would give it a try and see how it went. And 6 years later, here I am still, and enjoying every moment and not regretting it one bit.
Ok. Allora, il suo trasferimento dal Galles alla Norvegia non è stato un trasferimento diretto, perché lui all'età di 18 anni lascia il Galles per trasferirsi a Manchester per seguire praticamente, per potersi laureare nel College di Musica di Manchester. Nel 2013, in occasione dei campionati nazionali, venne contattato dal presidente della brass band di Stavanger in Norvegia, dove tuttora lui suona. E così lui ha deciso di trasferirsi e ha cominciato praticamente a lavorare anche con la musica in generale, non soltanto con la brass band in Norvegia. Quindi anche qua un caso fortuito e fortunato, se mi consentite il termine, per poter, diciamo, dar vita alla sua bellissima carriera. Thank you. Let's start with your professional life as soloist. So, when and how was your first experience as solist? Quando e come è iniziata la tua avventura come solista?
You know, you sent me these questions like a few days ago, and I've had time to think about that, and I can't actually say exactly when my first experience as a soloist was, but the one that I remember the most, being quite young, was I was in like a county youth brass band called the William Matthias Brass Band. And one of the first opportunities I got to perform as a tenor horn soloist was with this youth band. And I remember that I played the solo A Time for Peace by Peter Graham. And I think I must have been about 13 years old when I first performed that as a soloist. And that stuck with me, because actually to be given that opportunity with that fantastic group of musicians, and that band is still going, and they're absolutely fantastic. So to be given that opportunity at such a young age to perform like that was an honor, and it really stuck with me. So that was the one that stuck out.
Ok, allora lui non ricorda bene l'occasione in cui lui praticamente ha ricoperto il ruolo da solista per la prima volta nella sua vita, però ricorda bene la brass band con cui ha avuto questa opportunità, e praticamente la brass band giovanile della sua contea in Galles. E ricorda, diciamo, non il frangente in particolar modo, ma ricorda l'età. Aveva 13 anni, appunto con la sua brass band della contea d'appartenenza. Thank you. Let's continue with a technical, no, a sentimental question.
Okay.
Oh. So, caro Mr. Owen, lei è stato il primo e a tutt'oggi l'unico contraltista straniero ad essere venuto in Italia e aver tenuto una masterclass sul suo strumento, e addirittura un concerto da solista con il flicorno contralto. Quando è stato informato di questo Guinness dei primati, perché in Italia è un vero Guinness dei primati, cosa ha provato? As you probably know, dear Mr. Owen, you are the first and actually the only one tenor horn player who came to Italy and made a masterclass and a concert as soloist in our country with tenor horn. So, what do you feel about this your primacy? Because this is a real Guinness World Record.
Yes, well, what can I say? When I was offered the opportunity to come to your beautiful country to perform, I don't think many people would have turned down that opportunity. So of course I was very, very excited to come and do that. I didn't know right away that I was the first tenor horn player to ever play a concert in Italy as a soloist. So that was a nice surprise. And what also surprised me was the extremely high standard of the Italian brass band when I first got there, because I wasn't sure what to expect. We'd heard of the Italian brass band, but I'd never heard you guys play. So to get into that first rehearsal and hear you guys was fantastic, and it just made me relax just that little bit more, knowing that I had great support behind me. So it was a real honor, and I'm hoping that I will be back at some point in the future.
Allora, lui è rimasto molto sorpreso della cosa, perché quando venne a tenere questa masterclass in Italia e a suonare come solista con noi, con l'Italian Brass Band, perché l'Italian Brass Band ha avuto questo onore di portare per la prima volta nella storia un solista di flicorno contralto in Italia, è rimasto molto sorpreso, perché non credeva, nonostante i bravi musicisti ci siano in Italia e anche all'estero, non credeva di essere proprio il primo in assoluto a svolgere, a tenere delle manifestazioni del genere dedicate al suo strumento. Quindi la cosa lo ha molto sorpreso e l'ha molto inorgoglito. Thank you. And now we go with the technical questions.
Okay.
Oh. Per esempio, allora, io ho sempre avuto dei dubbi riguardo la nomenclatura del suo strumento. Mi spiego. Nei paesi anglofoni il suo strumento viene chiamato tenor horn. Nei paesi latini come la Francia, la Spagna, viene chiamato alto horn. Me lo ricordo anche quando studiavo in Svizzera francese, che era chiamato alto horn e basta. E in Italia viene chiamato flicorno contralto, che non è altro che la traduzione letterale del termine latino alto horn. Mentre per noi il flicorno tenore, il vostro tenor horn, è rappresentato dal baritono. Ora, come mai secondo lei c'è questa differenza nella nomenclatura dello strumento? Dear Mr. Owen, I have this technical doubt about the name of your instrument.
Oh,
Because
okay.
In Anglophone countries, in England, for example, is called tenor horn. In
Yeah.
Latin countries like French or Spain is called alto horn. And also in Italy, your instrument is called flicorno contralto, that is the literal translation of alto horn. For us, flicorno tenore, your tenor horn is baritone. So,
Yeah.
in your opinion, why is this difference on terminology there? In your opinion?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those questions that has never come up before. And when I knew that this question may come up during this interview, I had to really think about it. And I decided that I was going to call round some of my well-respected colleagues from the United Kingdom to try and find out. And no one could give me a definitive answer to that. Here in Norway, it's also called the alto horn. But in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this is not historical fact, but I would imagine it's got something to do with the early days of brass bands, and specifically the brass band repertoire.
Yeah.
My opinion is that probably it has to do specifically with the early days of the brass band repertoire, when mainly the brass bands would be playing arrangements of operettas, operas, music from that genre. And I believe that the tenor horn would take most of the tenor parts of these operettas or of these arias or whatever. So I think that that's probably where it came from. But I'm of the opinion as well that actually alto horn, I think, describes the nature of the instrument much better than tenor horn does. But again, you know, it's such a part of the British tradition now. I think it would be wrong to change it. Everyone knows what the tenor horn is, you know. So the alto horn could be, you know, it could create some conflict. So, but I'm happy to call it either or is fine with me.
Do you prefer alto or tenor horn? Like
both are equal. I mean, like now I'm using alto horn all the time because obviously I'm here in
The most
Norway.
important thing is playing, not calling your instrument.
Yes.
Yeah. Ok. Allora, per quanto riguarda la nomenclatura del suo strumento, allora mi ha detto che il termine tenor horn è utilizzato solo ed esclusivamente in Inghilterra e nei paesi anglosassoni in genere, tant'è vero che lì in Norvegia viene utilizzato il termine alto horn come nei paesi latini, pur non essendo un paese latino. Quindi diciamo una peculiarità più dell'Inghilterra. Secondo lui, ma è una sua opinione, perché faccio una piccola premessa, ha detto anche che ci ha pensato parecchio, ci ha riflettuto parecchio su questa domanda, perché non esiste una motivazione certa. Risale agli albori delle brass band, quindi parliamo della seconda metà dell'Ottocento. La sua idea, la sua opinione è che probabilmente venne chiamato tenor horn perché le prime trascrizioni d'opera e le prime trascrizioni delle canzoni popolari per brass band erano effettuate nella maniera tale che la voce del tenore era affidata al flicorno contralto. Per questo motivo lo chiamarono tenor horn. Quindi le arie d'opera, per esempio, destinate alla voce del tenore nell'opera, erano affidate al flicorno contralto nelle brass band. Questa è la motivazione che lui dà per questo, diciamo, per il suo strumento. anche se lui preferisce, dice, per lui è indifferente se chiamarlo tenor horn o alto horn, tant'è vero, come abbiamo detto, è più importante suonarlo che nominarlo, però dice anche che il termine alto horn si avvicina molto di più a quello che svolge, diciamo, al ruolo che svolge il flicorno contralto oggi all'interno di una brass band, perché in pratica fa la parte del contralto, quindi delle voci contralte, delle voci in chiave di contralto, delle viole quando si fanno praticamente anche le trascrizioni d'orchestra. Quindi oggi come oggi il termine alto horn rispecchia più la funzione del flicorno contralto moderno che il tenor horn. Thank you. And then let's start with another question. Okay. Your instrument here in Italy was considered before your master class and before your concert as soloist was considered like a B section instrument in Sicily, where I come from, was called umpa umpa instrument because it was used like a sort of rhythmical support, useful for not very good musician. Okay, you are not good musician. Okay, play alto horn, play flicorno contralto, play umpa umpa, no problem, don't worry. My question is, your instrument was considered at the same way also in the UK in the past or not? And if it was considered in this way, why in England you change idea about your instrument, and we made start the evolution for the actual modern alto horn?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and actually probably the reputation of the instrument being an umpa instrument probably derives from the use of that instrument in military bands or like police bands and things like this, you know, because mainly, in marches, you know, we still do a lot of that. You know, we are the musical support, you know, we are the kind of the musical potato, you know, if you want to call it that, you know, in military music. But thinking back, right, even to early days of British brass band music, if you think back to the likes of Cyril Jenkins and Life Divine or Labour and Love by Percy Fletcher, I mean, those guys were writing quite interesting parts for the instruments, the odd cadenza, the odd solo here and there. So I'm not sure whether that was really part of the British tradition, because like composers were really treating the instrument as its own voice, even back then. Of course, there's a strong connection between the tenor horn and the backrow cornet, and that still is present today in writing. But then, you know, came along composers like Eric Bourne, who did a lot to push the brass band music forward, but also highlighting the nature of the tenor horn and its sound and its full potential to be able to enhance the sound of a brass band. And with regards to its reputation as a solo instrument, I think that, you know, there have been many people before me, the likes of Gordon Higginbottom, Sandy Smith, Shona White, Owen Farr. All these guys have done tremendous work to push our instrument forward. And now we've got the likes of Tim de Massenet, for example, who's just setting the Belgian tenor horn player, who's just setting the world on fire and all the rest of it. So we're very grateful to those people who are really pushing the instrument now in new directions and showing off the instrument's full potential. So I think it's a combination of things, but I think mainly it's probably got that reputation from the military band repertoire, I feel.
Thank you. Allora, Mr. Owen dice che è a conoscenza di questa, tra virgolette, reputazione del suo, del suo strumento. Questa reputazione ce l'ha anche in Inghilterra, o meglio ce l'aveva perché precedentemente, prima delle brass band, il flicorno contralto veniva utilizzato con questa stessa funzione da supporto ritmico, veniva utilizzato anche nelle bande militari in Inghilterra. Tant'è vero che io ho parlato di Umpa Umpa, lui parla di potato instrument, di strumento patata, perché praticamente, così scherzosamente, facendo Umpa Umpa era come se lanciasse le patate, ecco. Diciamo che dignità a questo strumento gli è stata data, la dignità attuale che ha adesso questo strumento gli è stata data in Inghilterra proprio grazie alle brass band, perché ci sono stati compositori già dalla fine dell'Ottocento e i primi del Novecento che hanno cominciato a scrivere bellissime pagine musicali come solisti per il suo strumento, e poi sono arrivati alle grandi pagine musicali, sono seguiti grandi solisti, come ne ha citati parecchi anche tuttora in attività, come anche Owen Farr, che hanno reso praticamente, hanno dato una grande reputazione, una grande dignità a questo strumento. Però all'inizio effettivamente anche in Inghilterra lo strumento non era molto considerato da serie A, diciamola così. Thank you. And then let's talk about your professional relationships between brass band world, between you and brass band world in general, and with the Italian brass band, if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this. Could you tell us? You said that your first brass band was County Young Brass Band.
Yeah, well, I was part of the county youth brass band, yes, but the first band that I joined was the Menai Bridge band, a local band on an island not too far from where I
Island, okay.
Yeah, not island, but a small island that was. Anyway, the location isn't important. However, okay. I joined that band at the age of 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I stayed as a member of that band until 18 years old, when I moved to Manchester to study.
Yeah.
But in that time, even growing up from the age of 7 up to the age of 18, I was involved in quite a few different ensembles. I played in the county brass band, the county wind band, a member of the National Youth Brass Band of Wales, the university orchestra. So I was playing in many different ensembles 6 or 7 times a week from the age of about 9 years old. So I've been playing a lot up to the point where I moved to Manchester. Then I was very lucky. In about my 3rd or 4th week in Manchester, I received a phone call from Dr. Nicholas Childs asking if I would be interested in auditioning for the Black Dyke Band.
Yeah.
So I joined them when I was 18 years old, and I started there on 2nd horn, and then gradually moved up the section through my years there.
Yeah.
And then I found myself at the Grimethorpe Colliery Band for 3 years. Then, and then I took a break from playing for a while. Then I went over to a band called the Oldham Lees Brass Band, who have just moved up into the elite section in the UK. Very young band with a very, 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 very motivated and dedicated conductor. Then my last UK band was the Carlton Main Frickley Band, and that was the last band I played for before I moved to Norway, and now I'm with the Stavanger Brass Band. So I've had many, many different ensembles that I've played in. I'm sure you won't remember all of those now when you're translating.
You visited all Great Britain.
Yeah, near enough.
Okay.
Near enough.
Great. Allora, avevamo già detto prima che lui aveva iniziato da piccolissimo, con 13 anni, con la brass band giovanile della sua contea in Galles, poi all'età di 17 anni si trasferisce in Irlanda. Diciamo, la prima vera e propria brass band di cui fa parte appunto è questa brass band irlandese. Successivamente, quando a 18 anni si trasferisce a Manchester per i suoi studi, ha suonato in parecchie ensemble, non soltanto brass band. Addirittura mi ha detto che suonava 5-6 giorni a settimana in ensemble diverse, brass band e non solo, della zona di Manchester, fino a quando poi non fece un'audizione per entrare nella Black Dyke e si fece sentire da Mr. Nicholas Child. Entrando così nella Black Dyke, e nella Black Dyke è stato 2 anni e ha fatto praticamente tutto il suo cursus honorum, partendo dal terzo flicorno contralto fino al secondo flicorno contralto e arrivando ad essere poi il flicorno contralto solista. Terminata l'esperienza della Black Dyke si è trasferito alla Colliery Band e successivamente dopo la Colliery Band ha diretto, come direttore, ha diretto una brass band giovanile sempre in Inghilterra. Poi successivamente si è trasferito a Stavanger in Norvegia e ha cominciato a suonare con la Stavanger, il suo attuale brass band. Thank you again.
No problem.
What do you remember about the Italian brass band?
Well, yeah, as I said to you earlier during the interview, what impressed me more than anything else was the extremely high standard that you all played at. Especially seeing as the brass band movement is relatively young in Italy, you seem to capture the style and the sound and everything perfectly, which is fantastic. And to see such fantastic technique on every chair was an eye opener for me as well. And of course, not to mention your fantastic conductor, who is extremely inspirational. So it was a joy to work with you all. But that's what I remember most, is just the sound, walking down those stairs into that rehearsal room and then having that massive sound was just, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Do you remember food too?
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
Good nights all together.
Good nights.
Great. Allora, niente, della nostra brass band mi serva un caro ricordo, soprattutto ricorda le capacità tecniche della nostra brass band, quello che l'ha impressionato, diciamo, la massa sonora e anche il modo di dirigere del nostro direttore, che l'ha trovato particolarmente musicale, particolarmente ispirato. Questo è il termine che lui ha utilizzato. Poi naturalmente io gli ho detto, ti ricordi anche le belle mangiate, le belle serate trascorse insieme? Quelle chiaramente non si possono dimenticare. Thank you, Mr. Owen. Let's go with the question made by our followers.
Perfect.
Oh, question number 1. Domanda da parte di Ilaria. Ilaria chiede se ci sono dei libri, dei metodi specifici per flicorno contralto. Ilaria asks if are there many methods, books about practicing tenor horn.
Specifically the tenor horn.
Yeah.
Not so many. I mean, the technique that we generally use as brass players, I feel is pretty similar. So for me, I try and use a broad range of material when I'm practicing. Of course, you know, the traditional Arfon, but I also use the solfeggi book, the Clark. So you know, like all the trumpet stuff. And I think that's why I'm able to kind of. It's easy to move between instruments, you know, within the brass family. Most of them, if they have 3 valves, then I think the techniques are pretty similar. It's mainly about how you approach the sound of the instrument, but I don't think there's much literature on that. I think it's just a case of talking to these people who are great at their instruments, and they, you know, it's kind of trial and error. But specific books about tenor horn, I don't think I've ever, me personally, I've never come across one specifically designed for tenor horn playing. Personally.
Thank you. Allora, Mr. Owen dice che non vi è una letteratura specifica dal punto di vista dei metodi di studio, specifica per flicorno contralto. Solitamente dal punto di vista per migliorare la tecnica si usano i libri, i metodi che si usano normalmente canonici per le trombe, quindi l'Arban per quanto riguarda la tecnica, solfeggi per quanto riguarda appunto anche il discorso della melodia, del suono, quindi il Clark va bene anche come metodo, dice vanno benissimo i metodi per tromba, perché è uno strumento abbastanza similare. Thank you. Let's go on the second question. Sempre Ilaria. Qual è il percorso ideale per un suonatore di flicorno contralto? In your opinion, what is the ideal heater for a tenor horn player? About his practice.
About practice?
Yeah, about practice. About practice and about career in general.
Yeah, okay. Look, it's getting back to this being a bit of a potato. You know, I think that you have to be extremely flexible in both playing solo lines, but also providing good support. And I think that part of that comes from having a good balanced section. But again, it's about being diverse, because not only do you have to try and cut through the band, because the sound of a tenor horn is not easy to get out from a brass band, especially if you're sat kind of in the middle of the section and you've got quite dominant instruments on both of the outer sides. So I guess it's having good sound projection, having a good section next to you, and being able to, you know, be extremely flexible in what role you're playing, and understanding the role that you have within your ensemble. And in terms of practice, or in terms of being a soloist, I think that the one thing that I get commented on most when I perform concerts or recitals or whatever is it's always the sound first. They always comment about the sound of the instrument first. It's a beautiful sounding instrument. So I think that if you really have a good grip on your sound, then the world's your oyster. The technique, all this stuff, you know, can be learned. But I think that to have that sound, it takes real cultivation to build that sound. So I think in terms of practice, focusing on sound first, I think is vital.
Ok, thank you. Allora, Mr. Owen dice che la cosa principale da lavorare per diventare un ottimo contraltista è lavorare sul suono. Sul suono intanto non soltanto sulla qualità, ma anche sulla proiezione del suono, perché purtroppo in brass band il flicorno contralto, trovandosi nel mezzo, la cosiddetta media banda, trovandosi al centro e sovrastato da destra e da sinistra da strumenti con una proiezione maggiore, ha difficoltà a venire fuori col suo suono. Quindi la cosa che bisogna lavorare è la qualità del suono, la proiezione del suono, e soprattutto lavorare con la sezione per essere il più amalgamati possibile e anche il più flessibili possibili. Da questo punto di vista, per un contraltista che lavora in brass band, consiglia di non fossilizzarsi in un unico ruolo, ma di cambiare ruolo di volta in volta, proprio per essere pronti a diciamo, a rispondere musicalmente secondo le esigenze. Ma la prima cosa è il suono, poi viene la tecnica, poi viene tutto il resto. Il suono nella sua qualità e nella sua proiezione. Question number 3. Francesco chiede come si svolge in questo periodo la tua giornata di studio? In this period, in this COVID period, how is your typical practice day? How is?
Yeah. Well, I've been quite lucky, really, that even during this lockdown period that we've been in Norway as well, I was considered to be an essential worker. So I've not been locked up in my house that much because I also work as an organist here in Norway. I work as an organist, so it's kind of I've been out and about like generally, and I've been teaching a lot online as well. But in terms of my general practice, I've been really working recently on my embouchure efficiency. That's what I've been working on recently because I just feel that, especially when I've been changing between instruments. I've been doing quite a few like concerts and recordings on different instruments. So for me to get back into just my tenor horn playing, I really have to focus on having this good embouchure again, because changing between mouthpieces is not always recommended. So yeah. I've been mainly focusing on that and making sure that my production is good and making sure that my embouchure works extremely efficiently. But I've still been extremely active in my work as well. So I haven't had loads of hours to practice, but in the time that I've had, that's what I focused on.
Ok, diciamo che le sue giornate sono state comunque molto impegnate perché ha svolto intanto la sua professione da organista in chiesa, perché lui anche suona l'organo in chiesa, e poi ha svolto anche lezioni online per quanto riguarda il flicorno contralto. Mentre per quanto riguarda il suo studio personale si è molto focalizzato sull'imboccatura, in quanto lui utilizza delle diverse imboccature a secondo quello che deve fare. Ad esempio ha un'imboccatura per il concorso e un'imboccatura per quanto riguarda praticamente i concerti o un certo tipo di repertorio. E cambiare l'imboccatura non è sempre facile, bisogna lavorarci, quindi lui ha approfittato dei momenti di libertà durante questa quarantena per focalizzarsi appunto sul rendere il più efficiente possibile la sua imboccatura. Thank you. Quante queste domande ancora? Question number 4. Laura chiede: che ruolo occupa l'insegnamento nella tua vita professionale? Laura asks, how important is teaching in your professional life?
Teaching makes up about, I would say, between 60 and 70% of what I do here, and that's from really young kids from about 7 years old. And I right up to, I think my oldest student, I think, is in the mid-70s. So I teach a broad range of people and a broad range of abilities as well, here at the school where I work, but also privately online as well. And actually what I get most out of my teaching is not only seeing my students progress, but it really makes me think about my own general practice and how I perform, because you're having to explain things, and it really makes you think. So my opinions about like playing have changed quite a bit over the years with teaching people. So yeah, it's a big part of my life, but it's not about not just about the paycheck. It's actually helping my own professional development as a musician as well, whether that be on brass, because I also teach piano. So it's teaching like over a broad range of things. So it really helps me as a musician as well. So I'd say very important.
But what do you prefer, teaching or playing?
I like them both equally. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to do the same thing every day. So I like to have a bit of variation in my work week, and I just have it exactly how I like it right now. So I have good contact with teaching, but I also have opportunities to play as a soloist with Yamaha, but also I perform 3-4 times a week as an organist and pianist as well. So it's a nice balanced life, and I think that me personally, I need that to stay inspired to keep doing what we're doing. If you're just playing, I think it can be uninspiring after a while. So I think you need that balance.
Ok. Allora, per quanto riguarda l'insegnamento, occupa una grossa parte della sua vita, addirittura lui parla del 60-70% della sua vita professionale in Norvegia. E il range d'età a cui insegna va dai 7 anni ai 70 anni, quindi un ampio range. Insegna in una scuola, quindi pubblicamente, ma insegna anche privatamente, insegna oltre al flicorno contralto, insegna anche pianoforte, quindi diciamo occupa una grande, diciamo, un grande spazio nella sua vita. A questo punto io gli ho chiesto se preferisce più insegnare o suonare. Lui mi ha detto a me piacciono ugualmente tutte e due le cose, e dice anche di essere fortunato perché lì in Norvegia ha la possibilità di fare ambedue, di insegnare, che è il suo lavoro, ma anche di suonare addirittura 3-4 volte a settimana. Quindi il tutto è ampiamente bilanciato. I have just the last 2 questions.
Perfect.
Okay. Number 5, Claudio. Claudio chiede se c'è speranza per il flicorno contralto in Italia. Secondo lei, come dovrebbero fare i conservatori ad incentivare l'uso di questo strumento in Italia, o cosa serve in caso per poterlo incentivare? Claudio asks if there is an hope in Italy to make tenor horn practicing improve in the music school in the future. There will be the possibility or not?
I think that it all depends about the culture around where the school is. You know, if you look at the UK, for example, where the tenor horn is accepted into universities, generally there is a big brass band like community around that. So if you look at Salford and the Royal Northern College of Music, Huddersfield, Leeds, but all around here, that's where you will find the tenor horn being accepted into conservatories. However, if you go down, for example, down to London and you look at the Royal Academy, Guildhall, not so much interest. So I think if the tenor horn is to develop into a serious instrument in your country, then I think it has to come from the community and the uptake of the instrument within that area. That's the only way I think that will happen, because otherwise we'll just continue in this same divide of, you know, the tenor horn being just a potato instrument, you know, as it stands. So fingers crossed that hopefully we will see that one day. But it's on the Italian brass band and the other brass bands in Italy to really push for it.
Thank you. We hope so.
Yeah.
Allora, in merito alla domanda di Claudio, lui dice dipende dalla cultura del paese, perché se il paese il paese che vuole, tra virgolette, far crescere un qualcosa, in questo caso lo studio, la conoscenza del flicorno contralto, ne ha la volontà, bisogna organizzare un qualcosa che ne incentivi l'interesse. Lui per esempio ha fatto l'esempio di comunità, creare, che ne so, delle community di musicisti di flicorno contralto che organizzino eventi oppure oppure che, diciamo, occasioni per poter insegnare, per poter far conoscere questo strumento. Ma tutto dipende dalla volontà, dalla cultura, della volontà che un paese ha nel far conoscere qualcosa. Se non si parte, se non si incentiva l'interesse, si rimarrà sempre a considerare il flicorno contralto come il potato instrument, cioè lo strumento lanciapatate, come viene considerato tutt'oggi. Dice anche che l'interesse per il flicorno contralto in Inghilterra, nella Gran Bretagna, non è tutto uguale. Ad esempio, nell'Accademia Musicale a Londra il flicorno contralto non viene considerato, mentre in altre aree della Gran Bretagna, come il Gallese o altre, dove c'è cultura di brass band, il flicorno contralto ha la sua dignità. Dipende solo da noi, e dice anche che grazie all'Italian Brass Band, ma soprattutto al movimento brass bandistico italiano tutto, ci può essere l'occasione decisiva per poter far conoscere al grande pubblico il nostro flicorno contralto, non più come strumento umpa umpa, ma anche come strumento con la sua dignità e le sue grandi potenzialità. The last question. Maureen, Maureen chiede: Arfon, cosa ti manca del Galles? That is a saudade question. Arfon, what do you miss of Welsh?
You know, there are things that I miss, obviously, about being back in Wales. I think mainly it's the language, to be honest with you. You know, I miss speaking the Welsh language, and every day, it's really sad, but every day that I'm here in Norway, my Norwegian gets replaced with Welsh. So it is the language more than anything else, because the Welsh language isn't spoken by everybody in Wales. It's actually quite a small percentage of the population that speaks Welsh daily. And I feel that I think it's really important to keep that language going. So I'm going to make an effort to try and speak Welsh more often, but it's difficult to find Norwegian people that can speak Welsh as well. So I guess that's the thing I miss most, is speaking the language.
Welsh is Celtic language.
It's a Celtic language. It's one of the oldest languages in Europe. One of the oldest languages in Europe. And again, it's Welsh people who speak it hold it very close to their hearts, because it's a very important language. So, well, for us as Welsh people, it's very, very important for our heritage.
Like Scottish, for example, in Scotland.
Yeah. But those languages are completely different. They're not. Okay. But it's really important. So that's what I miss most, I think.
Ok. Allora, la cosa che gli manca di più del Galles è parlare il gallese, perché chiaramente abitando sì, il Galles fa parte della Gran Bretagna, la lingua principale è l'inglese, ma in Galles si parla principalmente il gallese, che è una lingua di origine celtica, una delle più antiche lingue d'Europa, e questo gli manca, e lui, abitando in Norvegia, chiaramente non trova nessuno che parli il gallese, quindi la sua lingua d'origine gli manca particolarmente. Ok, thank you. Let's finish. Okay, so on behalf of the Italian Brass Band, on behalf of IBB and Friends, I want to say thank you to Mr. Arfon OWEN for this beautiful, really beautiful, enjoyable conversation about terror horn, about brass band, about your long name village too. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say sorry for people who sent other questions, but the time is over.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to Ilaria Moriconi and Fotodak Studio for the graphical support. And in general, I want to say thank you to you, dear followers. Mr. Owen, say.
Yes, no, I just want to say thanks very much for inviting me here to talk to you all this evening. It's been a real pleasure. It's been a long time since I've spoken to you, Giovanni, so it's been nice to talk to you again as well. And I hope that soon I'll be back there in Italy, and hopefully we'll be able to do a concert or something again. So I look forward to that.
I hope so. I want to play with you again.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you. Thank you to you, dear followers. Put il like, mettete mi piace on your video, on your interviews on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and take care. Goodbye. See you next week with another big man of the brass band world. Bye. See you soon.
See you later. See you. Bye-bye.